Okay. Welcome everybody to our very first South Jersey Artist Conversation of 2022. Excited that you could join us today. We're starting with a small group that I imagine will grow as the minutes tick on. We have people popping in every few minutes here. So I want to just take a moment to welcome everyone. Thank you for spending a little bit of your afternoon with us. We are going to be talking about some great and interesting things today. We're going to talk about what you all are working on in the new year, what SJCA has coming up in the new year. And we have a guest here with us today, Ms. Katie Bennett. She is from Givitas, which is the company that created and sells the Givitas software. So for those of you that aren't familiar with what Givitas is, Katie's going to do kind of a deep dive and show you what the software can do. But in a nutshell, it's an online platform that we have contracted with Givitas to use that is specific for South Jersey Cultural Alliance members. You can log in, you can post questions, you can post resources that you want to share, you can post asks for help. So if you need space for an exhibit, that would be a great place for you to list information about this exhibit that's looking for space in South Jersey. Or if you need volunteers to staff the gallery, or you want to share information about an exhibit that you're doing, or you're looking for someone to come in and do a teaching program at your school, whatever the case may be, it's a place that's just for you and just for your cultural community colleagues to log in, to ask for help, to offer support, and just to connect with each other. And some of the really cool things happen on the back end where we can see where all those connections are happening throughout the cultural community in South Jersey and identify what kinds of questions are getting asked frequently, where are a lot of the requests for help coming from? Are they geographically centered? Are they a lot from theaters? Are they a lot from independent artists? Those kinds of things. So it can help us really understand in a much more comprehensive way the needs and challenges and strengths that the South Jersey cultural community has to offer. So with all of that said, I'm going to turn it over to Katie, who is going to provide a link in the chat that you can use to sign up for Givitas. It's free, so you do not need to pay anything for the service. You just sign up with SJCA Givitas community, and you can start poking around in the software immediately. So I am going to let Katie share the screen. And can everyone now see the screen with a lovely young lady with her cup of tea? It says join SJCA Givitas community.
Yes.
Yes, everyone can see that. Okay, great. Then Katie, I will turn it over to you.
Awesome. Thank you, Julie. So I think Julie gave a phenomenal intro in terms of, what is Givitas, and, just to sort of hammer the main point that she made is that this is now an online virtual space for you guys to collaborate on an ongoing basis. There's no longer reason that you have to wait for a meeting like this. You don't have to necessarily email Julie for something. Now you get to, collaborate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, whenever you need to do so. So I did put the link in the chat for you to go ahead and sign up. All you'll have to do is you'll have to click on that sign up for free now button on the page that I linked. The page is this sjca.givitas.com/sign up now. You can sign up either with a LinkedIn account or a Google account or with your email. So it's up to you. It's easy if you do LinkedIn or Google, you don't have another password to remember. But if you go ahead and do choose to sign up with your email address, you'll just enter your first and your last name, and then you'll create your own password there. Click that sign up button. Again, if you've chosen this email option, you will get a verification email that you'll have to click on as well. If you choose LinkedIn or Google, you'll be able to log right in. If you have any difficulties logging in at all, you can reach me at support@givitas.com, and I will add that to the chat right now as well. So just go ahead, any support issues at all with the platform logging in, just go ahead and email me and I will get you all set up. So once you go ahead and you do join the platform, I'm going to go ahead and share a different page here. Just a second here. Here we go. Can you see that new page now?
Yes.
Julie? Okay, cool. Perfect. Just want to make sure it's sharing correctly. And so once you've logged into Givitas, this is what you're going to see. You're going to see in the center of your screen, the giving help and asking for help areas. And so this is where on this giving help tab, this is where all so far members have gone ahead and posted. So we just started this past week. And so you'll see we just have a few requests for help here. Julie's posted a couple of them. Yesterday, we can see that Tarina posted an ask for help saying seeking venues for dope art mini marts. So I'm going to click on that request here and we can see what her specific request is. So we can read out her request that she's looking for, or she's seeking spaces in South Jersey to place these vending machines that she has. And so these it looks like art vending machines. And so
they're very cool, by the way. I don't mean to interrupt, but these art vending machines are super cool. And I think it's such a fantastic idea. So if you haven't checked out Dope Art Mini Mart, definitely take a look at it on Facebook. Tarina's doing some great things.
Cool. So yeah, I've never heard of this. I'm in Michigan, so I'm not by you guys, but this sounds super cool. So if you have a place that she could go ahead and put these, this is where you would then be able to go ahead and offer your help. And so you could click into this text box here, and all you have to do is simply type up that offer. You may want to include your contact information. So everything in this platform is public, so meaning all members can see it, except there is one exception to that. And that is right here, this little toggle at the bottom. It says add contact information privately. If you toggle that on, you may want to also provide Tarina your contact information. And if you want that to be hidden from everybody else, you could enter it here. If you don't care to hide it from everybody else, you could just enter it in this text box. But we do give you that option for privacy to go ahead and enter that information here. But again, everything else you offer here would be seen by everyone in the community, and that's very intentional. We want everything to be very transparent. We want people to be collaborating. We want people to be learning from one another. So offers of help and requests are all public to everyone in the community. You could also ask Tarina a question. So maybe a follow-up question perhaps could be, how much space does one need to be able to put one of these in their facility or their space, right? Could you get dimensions, for example? If you wanted to put a question, you'll click on this ask a question button, and then you can see here that I could go ahead and ask that question. I would then submit that. Everybody in the community would be able to see that. I also want to note when I submit an offer of help to Tarina, she does get emailed an email notification saying that she's received an offer of help. And if you were to submit a request for help, you'll also get an email. We also send out what we call our daily digest, which is an email that tells everyone in the community when there's new requests for help and what those requests are. And so in this community, you don't have to come here every single day. We're not trying to take up a bunch of your time. We're trying to make it easy and efficient for you to build out that network and get the help that you need from everyone else in the arts community. And so if you're reading that digest in your email, you're staying apprised of what's happening. And if you can help people, then you're going to come into this community. Or if you need to make your own request, you're going to then go ahead and log in here. But again, most of the time you're going to sort of be in your email. You'll see those emails and you'll stay up to date with what's happening and what other people are asking for. On the asking for help side of things, so the other side of the equation here, we've been talking all about giving help. On the asking for help side, you'll click on that blue Ask for Help tab, and then down below, you'll see where you can submit your own request. So every request is required to have a title. Every request then has those details around it. So what do you need help with? And we want you to follow what we call our SMART criteria, which is specific, measurable, actionable, real, and time-bound. And that acronym and what that means is in this little button right here that says how to ask for help and give a task. We also highlight that. But essentially what we really want you to do is to be providing a real request that's specific and actionable so that people can help you, right? So you want to provide those details so that it's easiest for people to be able to offer you offer you help efficiently. So you'll write your request here. When you write your request, you may need to put like an attachment with it, perhaps. You can do that, or you can format in different ways. You can also hyperlink to anything as well. Down below there, you'll then have the option of adding a tag. So some sort of a category that your request is related to. You don't have to add a tag though, that is optional. You can see some of the tags here that have been used already. So things like artist or vendor, or, you know, people asking for recommendations. And then you also are going to put the date in which you need help by. The reason why we ask for a date is for two reasons. One, we want this to be something that people are going to be taking action on now, that you need now. It's not something we want people that you need in 6 months, for example, because we want this to be very time bound and timely so that people act on it. The other reason is because when your request passes that date, it does what happens is it closes, meaning that we don't delete it. It's still in the platform, but we just remove it from this giving help section of the platform to keep this very clean, right? We want people to be able to come in to give a toss, see what people need help with, and leave. We don't want to see things that are outdated. So again, we close the request. A closed request though is always in the platform. And I want to highlight that we have filters here that allow you to go ahead and see those. You also can always use the search feature at the very top, and allows you to go ahead and search both open and closed requests. Just a couple other features I just want to mention here, which would be, one would be the member directory. So we can see, again, we've just launched this. We're already up to 19 members, which is wonderful. And you can see that people, they can go ahead and update their profile. So here's Molly's profile so far. She has a image there for her profile picture. So every time she makes a request for help, you'll see that image. In order to update the other profile fields related to your specific profile, what you're going to do is you're going to go to the account dropdown, which is the upper right corner, and click on profile. And then you're going to click on this little pencil icon. There you'll be given the opportunity to update your profile. This will then allow people to go to the member directory and learn more about you. They'll be able to learn, you'll be able to provide your mobile number. You'll be able to provide a little bit more information about who you are, your organization, etc. And so I do recommend you go ahead and update that profile. I think, are there any questions? So I've sort of covered for you sort of the main purpose. I've covered some of those main features, how you get into the platform. Are there any questions about anything that I've covered for you today?
I just want to say what a great name you have. Give it to us. It's just wonderful. So thank you for that. And I'm sounding like the opportunity that I was going to present about this children's art exhibition could be a very good option for this this platform. Do you think so too?
Absolutely. So I think your question at the very beginning, Flavia, about maybe finding either a co-sponsor or finding a location or whatever it is you're really searching for to bring that art exhibit. I think absolutely you should post it here.
How do we know who actually is seeing this? Do you have a list of your participants?
It's a great question. So in the member directory, everybody you see in the member directory is getting those digest emails that I talked about. And so they are seeing those requests. All members of SJCA are invited to join this. And so if there are other members that that would benefit from being in here that you see are not in the member directory, please send them an email. You can share that link I shared with you, that sign up now link, and they're all welcome to join. But yes, everybody who joins does get that digest email. So you'll know that they've seen it. In addition, when we send out those digest emails, I do want to note that we send out the digest saying, hey, there's this new request for help. We also send it right before the request is expiring. So sort of a second glance or a second look in case they missed it the first time. So we do try to make sure that, knowing not everybody's opening possibly every single email, we do try to give it a couple opportunities for people to see that request. I think that answers your question. Any other questions?
And I just want to add something on to that. Yes, please share the link with any of your artist friends or cultural colleagues, however they function in the sector, whether they're an administrator or an artist or a patron of the arts even. We intend for this to be for SJCA members, but it is new and we do want to introduce it to the community and let them know that it is a tool there for them to use. So it's likely that we will let it be open for some time, and then we will just, like 6 months to a year in, evaluate, okay, who's using this that's actually a member and who's not. And then we'll, have that conversation with the people who aren't yet SJCA members. And we do have options, ranging from free to paid organizational memberships. So we want to just make sure everyone, that wants to be in our community has a place in our community. So we'll find a way for everybody to be official, but, feel free to share that link with other artists and people in the cultural community, because we really want it to be a place that's lively and engaging and that people are using to connect with each other, because South Jersey is spread out geographically. We don't have this dense city center that we are all around. And so we hope that this is a digital way for you guys to connect with each other and to, tap into the resources that exist out there already in South Jersey. So we can turn our attention to the resources that are truly absent, so we can advocate to get more of those here in South Jersey. So I just wanted to add that on. So share widely, and we'll worry about the rest later.
Thank you.
There was one question in the chat that I just want to also mention where, someone asked, where does the name Givitas come from? And it does come from the Latin word civitas, which is community. And so the goal there is that we've essentially are trying to make a giving community. And so we're trying to make a community that's centered on sort of, the pay it forward concept or generalized reciprocity, which means that we want people to be giving without expecting anything in return. And honestly, we've seen just, a lot of these communities just flourish with that concept, right? This is a unique concept in that we're building a community based on this very specific, again, pay it forward concept that is unique to any other social media platform and any other networking platform. And so, so we're excited that you guys are also adopting it. We're excited to see what you guys do with it. And like I said, we've seen some incredible things in some other communities that are similar to you. And so I have no doubt that there will be some incredible generosity displayed here as well. So with that, I think, Julie, I'm going to give it back to you here. But if you guys have any other questions.
I have one quick question for you. Can you tell us a little about Adam Grant and Wayne Baker and the books that kind of all of that spurred all of this forward? Because I think, the software is great and I think it's easy to see how that can be useful, but I really want to sort of just touch on the underlying idea of reciprocity and generosity and community and what was the onus for creating this software.
Absolutely. And so, so the Givitas platform, the company's name is actually Give and Take that owns it. And Give and Take has the same name as founder Adam Grant's book, Give and Take. So Adam Grant is a Wharton School professor. He is also has a very highly regarded podcast called Work Life. And he essentially several years ago wrote this book called Give and Take. And what the research that drove that book says is that people who give help without expecting anything in return are the most successful in life and in business. And so that drove the essentially why we formed this company. But in addition to Adam, there's also a professor, and it was actually Adam's professor when he was working on his PhD at the University of Michigan, a professor by the name of Wayne Baker. And Wayne Baker does research on why we ask for help and the benefits around asking for help. And so when Wayne taught Adam thought that concept was really cool. He then looked into actually, what the benefits are of giving help. And so the two of them are both founders of this company. And so everything we do in the Givitas platform is rooted in academics. Everything we do is rooted in social science. You'll see in the platform after you've asked for help, there's also a prompt to say thank you. The reason why we prompt you to say thank you is because people who are thanked when they're offered help are significantly more likely to offer help again in the future. And so we want to keep that cycle of giving going. We don't want people to feel like, wait a second, I offered help in this community and no one said thank you. I'm not going to do that again. No, we don't want that happening, right? We want people to be offering help again, but also getting help, right? We want people to be sharing that knowledge. We want to create this incredible knowledge repository. And we also want you each to be more efficient at what you're doing. None of you should be reinventing the wheel, right? There are a lot of you guys are doing similar things, and the learnings and the best practices that you have experienced can be shared with other people in your community. And so we want everyone to be learning from those. And so that's sort of the core again of the platform. And that's that's sort of the history. That's where we came from. Adam and Wayne and all of this social science research that's gone into it, how we build it, why we call a request, because sometimes people ask me that, why we send out a digest, all of those things. Everything we've done is tried to make an efficient, easy to use platform rooted in science. We're not trying to suck you in. We're not showing ads to you. We're not selling your information. We're not doing all of those other things that you see in some of those social media platforms and networks that you're a part of. This is just a true platform, again, focused on generalized reciprocity, without kind of all of that other baggage that you see in other places. So hopefully that answers and kind of gets at what you were going for there, Julie, with your question. And then with that, I just want to also note that there is the support at Give a Toss email, which I'll add again to the chat if anybody has any questions or follow-up questions you have for me or difficulties. I'm here to support you guys in everything that you do and here to support Julie. So you can also reach out to her with any questions if you have those as well.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Kate.
Thank you guys.
Appreciate that. I did put a couple of links in there if you're interested in learning more about Adam Grant or Wayne Baker, Cheryl Baker, or the Give a Toss kind of foundation of what they built the product on. I put some links in there too, so you can check those out as well. But I hopefully you'll all try it and find it useful and give us some feedback and share with your friends. So thank you, Katie, for taking the time to go over with us. I appreciate that. Okay. So now that Katie is finished giving us the rundown on Give a Toss, why don't we take a moment to just go around and do the round table where everyone introduces themselves, says where they're from, and what you're working on at the moment. So I'm going to just call out some names since I have the master squares here. Flavia, why don't you go first?
Okay, I'm Flavia Alaya. I am the I would say acting director, because we're looking for a new director of the organization in Bridgeton called the Center for Historic American Building Arts, otherwise known fondly as CHABA. You may have heard of us by that name. We are essentially a preservation organization because the concept of CHABA came out of the owning the largest historic district in the state, which Bridgeton does. And it's over 2,000 properties. So it's a major cultural resource, not just to enjoy, but also to manage. And we decided that an organization, a nonprofit, could enhance the future of the preserving this historic resource, along with the Bridgeton Historic District Commission, which desperately needed some help. So we consider ourselves an environmentally sensitive organization. We are concerned with sustainability and greening. And so we offer solutions for repurposing housing and historic buildings that are friendly to the environment and futuristic. Anything else you want to know? I'd be glad to.
No, that's great. And if you have a job description for the position that you're looking for, we can certainly share that on SJCA's new job board. Sure. So if you want to email that over to me, or I'll send you a link and you can add it on there yourself, whichever one works. But that's another new tool that we're rolling out for everyone as a job board, so that all of our members can post available positions for volunteers, interns, paid positions, and we can get that out there for you and spread the word. It's hard to do hiring right now, for sure.
I just wanted to add that we are kind of, because Bridgeton is a small city and we interact with other cultural and giving organizations, we are kind of a good place to come if there's something that you want to evolve out of the artistic community. And in one sense, I'm reaching out to you because we have something to offer, but we'd be glad to hear from others as well on what they might want to share with the people of Bridgeton, which is, by the way, very multicultural, multilingual, largely English and Spanish, but other cultures inhabit here too.
That's fantastic. I will definitely reach out to you after the session and we can chat more about what you're working on, because I think there are probably a couple ways we can help support what you're doing. Great.
By the way, Adaria Armstrong, who is also on this call, is one of our members of our board. She's from the Bridgeton Public Library.
Oh, great. Well, Adaria, why don't you go next? We sort of gave you a pre-introduction. So.
It's a hard act. She's a hard act to follow. What can I say? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. My name is Adaria Armstrong. I'm the Director of Youth Services at the Bridgeton Public Library. I'm an artist of many mediums. I'm on the board of CHABA also, and I guess I try to incorporate art into everything I do with kids here at the library. And of course, a very strong environmental sensibility. So I guess I'm looking for community to help participate in that, have guest artists here at the library, do something collaborative with artists in South Jersey to bring us together. Because as you mentioned, it is a very wide geographic area. And I'm very used to having a very dense geographic area, being up from Bergen County and New York City, growing up there. So it's far and few between, but I know we're out there, and I wanted to join a community to meet folks, like-minded folks. And I'm also a social scientist. My previous MA is in social and cultural anthropology. I study rural and cultures here in the US. And I'm also a DJ and a musician. I've toured the world with different bands, and now I find myself in Bridgeton at a library. So go figure.
Well, that's fantastic. It sounds like you're very multifaceted. You've got your hands in everything over there, and then you're tucked away in the back corner of a library. See the gems that libraries hold. People don't even know you're hiding back there. Well, now you're here, and we're so glad you're part of our community.
Bring food and water.
Well, hopefully someone lets you out, but we're glad you're here with us, and certainly we can get you connected. I think Givitas would probably be a great place for you to post too if you're looking for artists that can come in and do collaborative programming at the library.
Absolutely.
So,
and just may I mention, I'm sorry, in lieu of in-person programming because of COVID, we set up story time on the road where we went all over the county, and I interviewed many amazing people at different places like Wheaton Arts and I can't even go into it. There's like, we probably went to about 25 or 30 places and created story times, interviews, crafts and stories, and produced them weekly from July of 20 through the end of last year. And so I'm wondering, because we are a community of artists here in South Jersey, how are you incorporating people from Wheaton Arts and the galleries in Millville and that whole art scene in Millville into this particular group?
well, Wheaton has been one of our core members for many, many years, and we have board members that are in leadership at Wheaton as well. So they are involved in everything that we do, and certainly, we have two different. Yeah, we have two sessions. We have this artist conversation that's primarily for individuals looking to connect. And then we have our virtual connection session, which is more of a general membership meeting where more of the organizations and the larger groups attend that session as well. But definitely we love what they're doing in Millville. There's always exciting things happening at the Riverfront Renaissance Center, the Wheaton Arts, obviously downtown Millville. There's always, the Clay College. Everything is so lively and engaging in Millville. I really can't say enough good things about what they do there. So I'm glad you gave them a shout out. And obviously anyone is welcome to join us at these sessions. We're happy to have you. So maybe we'll do a little nudging and encourage those folks to attend too.
And anytime, if you want to organize, we can perhaps use our hub here at the library because we have a big multi-purpose room as some sort of, meeting or gathering place. And I also wanted to give a shout out to Gallery 50 downtown Bridgeton on Commerce Street for their wonderful contribution to the art community in South Jersey.
Great. Well, thank you. Wonderful. Okay. So let's see who's next. Lauren, why don't you go next?
Hello, everybody. I'm Lauren Dan, and I'm a painter and fine artist. I work in, a lot of political work. Right now, I'm working on a series called Chain Link Lifestyle, and it's about children being taken away from their families and deported. I also work in environmental projects. I'm doing another series called Compost, or Decomposition of Decomposition, where I study my own compost file and use the compost in the paintings. I just started a nonprofit, the South Jersey Artist Collective, very close to the South Jersey Cultural Alliance, but in support, of course. And we're hosting our first art show at the Rowan College of South Jersey. So that's really exciting. I think we're going to have an opening in March, actually a closing for the show. I did put the call for art out with the South Jersey Cultural Alliance, so hopefully some people got to apply through that. And we got a couple grants this year, which is really exciting. So we're going to be taking some art classes on the road. Adaria, I do teach children's art classes and adult art classes, so I'll reach out to you. But we did get a grant that's going to help a bunch of different art teachers go all through South Jersey and offer art classes. Basically, the kind of stuff we offer to kids all the time, but letting adults engage and play and have fun, which is something I think is kind of lacking for a lot of us and in need. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to creating in South Jersey. Thank you.
Woohoo, compost.
Yeah, that sounds like such an interesting
Lauren.
project. Got some cool stuff going on here. Okay, great.
Well,
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And Adaria, I'm reaching out to you, so look for my email shortly.
Great.
Check
I
the
love
chat
to see
box.
when people connect. I love this. And this is the kind of thing that I think Givitas can help with, because, these sessions are an hour long once a month. And if you're not able to attend or you don't get the right people in the group, you might miss an opportunity to connect. But with the online platform, any time of day, if it's 2 a.m. and you think, oh, I really am needing someone to come in and do a class, you can post it. And then, someone like Lauren can see it on Givitas and respond to you, and you guys can connect like that. So that's fantastic. So glad you guys are going to connect. Okay. Lisa, why don't you go next?
How you doing? I'm Lisa Seferetto, and I am the president of Toms River Artist Community in Toms River, New Jersey. I'm also the the cultural director for the BID in Toms River. I'm on the board of CAP, Community Art Project, and I am on the board of the BID, Business Improvement District. I am part owner in Small Town Arts of Toms River, which is a mess right now because we're moving spaces right this very minute. I am a resin artist. Started my art career as a photographer. Joined up with track, and these guys kind of pushed me out of my comfort zone a little bit. So I've dabbled in some acrylics, some oils, some watercolors, some kind of do it all. But the resin art is what's really got me hooked right now. I'm doing, I don't know if you can see behind me, there's a couple of boards up on the wall. Charcuterie boards were so hot this Christmas. I mean, it was ridiculous. It was so hot. I couldn't keep up with them. So that was good. And but we're Toms River Artist Community is a true community art group. Our main goal is to get the people in our community involved in art. The children, the seniors, who unfortunately I think have been really forgotten through this whole COVID mess. We are putting together a traveling track team to go to different, not like 55 and older communities where they have rooms, conference rooms where we could do like a paint and sip or do a weekly class with them. We've got 2 months of children's classes, partnership, or Ocean County Partnership for Children, which are all underprivileged children. We will be doing 2 months of Friday night classes for them. And then in May, which is Mental Health Awareness Month, we will be hanging them their opening reception in our back community room here and having an opening for them. And the kids are all different ages, all different skill levels. There are some special needs children, there are some disabled children. So it's going to be really interesting to see what they come up with. And basically the theme for everybody is happy. What makes you happy? Because we've had a lot of sad, so we need to be happy now. And we're also working with the Filipino community in town. We do 3 shows a year for them, and their kids' ages. Last time it was from 4 years old to 12 years old. And you really couldn't tell the difference between the 4-year-old paintings and the 10-year-old paintings, because those 4-year-olds were so talented. When I found out that they were 4 years old, I was like, are you kidding me? They're better than me. What's going on? But we sold about 30 paintings for them, and the kids were thrilled. So we'll have them back again for Valentine's Day. And we're just looking for different outlets where we could hang art and teach art and show art and just keep on moving for our community. I mean, we did that big mural last year. That was 120-foot appreciation mural. We had 285 kids in town help us paint that. And so, this year we're going to keep plugging along. We're going to do some more intense classes with the kids. We're going to introduce them to some classic artists because they don't get that anymore. You say Van Gogh to a kid, they're like, who? What? So we're going to do things like, we'll do like a month class with them. We'll explain about Van Gogh, explain about his style, and then we will have them paint something that makes them happy in Van Gogh's style. So hopefully not only will they have fun painting, but they'll learn a little bit too, which, they're not getting it in the schools now. So we'd like to step up as much as we can and try and.
How big is your space?
Well, we're now moving to the hallways, so that's probably about 1,000 square feet of wall space. And then our community room, we could have up to 60 people in there. So that's a whole separate room. And my gallery is probably, 500 square feet. And, this is a cool building because it's an incubator. So they bring people in, up to 3 years, they get you going. The bid helps out with, marketing and showing you how to run a business if you don't know how to run a business. And then their eventual goal is to, okay, you know what, Lisa did really good at the shops at 53 Main. We have an opening at a storefront up the street. Let's get Lisa moved into that storefront.
We need to clone you, Lisa.
Look, great. I have 2 hands and all 6 are busy.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay. It's doing good for the community. It's doing good for us. It does good for the soul, my soul anyway.
Makes you happy.
Yeah, I'm doing something I love every day. So that's all I got.
You can't argue with that. I mean, doing something we love every day. What more could you ask for, right? So it looks like our group is shrinking. So I'll just take just a couple of minutes to give you a few little tidbits of what's coming up for SJCA. So we're going to continue these 2 monthly sessions, the artist conversations and the virtual connection sessions, which are kind of bigger and have usually a topic speaker that comes in and talks about something. Katie will be joining us to give a more deep dive into the Give a Toss with her PowerPoint and the full presentation on the 25th of January, which is when the virtual connection session is. We're going to be releasing our new website in February, which is very exciting. It will streamline and make the site much more searchable and intuitive, and you'll be able to find all of those great resources and tools that we offer for the cultural community. So the map will be there, new and improved and easy to search. The Givitas platform will be there. You'll be able to see your own profiles and update all your own information to make sure that that is staying up to date. There's a new events calendar, so you can list all of your upcoming openings and programs. We've got the new job boards that everyone can list their volunteer and paid opportunities. We've got so many new things happening on the website. It's really going to become a central hub that I hope is your go-to for when you need information on anything advocacy, resources, grants, funding, updates, connection. It's all going to be in one place for you. So we're very excited about that. Obviously, we've done the soft launch of Givitas. We're going to be working on developing some smaller community of practice meetings. So those are small groups that have like interests that would meet. So maybe small theater groups, or maybe all volunteer organizations, or maybe marketers, different small groups that have shared interests that they want to meet. We're going to try and find some sort of hosts within the community that are interested in those topics and can help us to coordinate those meetings. We're also going to be working on an ambassador program. You'll start to hear more about this in the next couple of months, but the hope is that we are going to find an artist or cultural leader from each county, and we're creating a fellowship structure so that we'll be able to give that particular ambassador a stipend. There's going to be an educational component to help develop their skills in project management, communication, community development, all those tools that you really need to be effective in being a cultural leader in your community, so that when they're done with this ambassadorship, not only did they help their community, but they're walking away with a toolkit that they can then use to go out into the community and serve on boards, committees, staff, to do their own community projects. So we're really excited about that. And that is just kind
You
of
could have
getting
done
off.
that 3 years ago.
I would have loved to. I just got here 3 years ago to SJCA, but it's been in the back of my mind like a little seed growing. And I think this is the year. We're gonna get all the groundwork laid. We're gonna find the people that can help be our first wave of ambassadors, and then we're going to get it all set so that it can get off and running by the end of the summer. So that's really exciting, in another way that hopefully we can help to connect a big geographic area and really understand your guys' needs and all the great things that you're doing, so we can champion that and share the story of what's going on in arts and culture in South Jersey. So that's just kind of a snapshot. Our weekly bulletins give you all of the details. The website will always have updated lists of webinars from around the entire field. So not just SJCA, but other webinars that we think you might be interested in for digital tools, marketing, fundraising, development, all of those things. That's all going to be there. And we are going to continue to, try and find ways that we can just bring the cultural community together and make sure that you have what you need to do the vital work that you do, and make that easier for you. So anytime you have questions, please feel free to reach out and ask. I'm still an island unto myself. I also am hiring. I'm looking for a person to be sort of my right hand to help with membership programs and outreach to the community. So if you know anybody, have them send me their resume. You'll probably see that that job description get posted here in the next day or two. It'll be on our job board. I'll put it on social media. But if you can think of anybody who might be interested, just drop me a line and let me know. My email's in the chat, and I'm going to just put it down at the bottom again so it's easy to see. And also the post-event survey link is there. If you could just take a moment and fill that out, let me know if you like these meetings, if there's something that we're missing and not giving you that you think would be useful, or if you love them and they're fantastic and you just want to say how much you get out of them, that's good too. We'll take that as well. If anyone has anything else to share.
That I haven't heard or seen anyone here from Salem County, and I presume you're inclusive of Salem County, and that's really an important outreach element, because the artist communities from the coastal cities does seem to dominate the messaging in this area.
Agreed.
We don't want to leave Salem and Cumberland and Western Cumberland County out of the picture.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing great things, and we work closely with the county cultural and heritage offices in Salem and all of the 8 counties, but in Salem and Cumberland to try and make sure that they are aware of all the programs and spreading that information. And we hope that those ambassadors we're going to put in place will help take some of that load off of the county cultural and heritage offices in spreading the word, because the ambassadors are going to be embedded in the community, so they will have lots of connections, and we'll be working daily to expand that list of cultural assets in that area. And I know that Salem's been going through some transition of leadership there in their county cultural and heritage, so that's probably why they haven't popped up here, but we definitely keep them in the loop and want them to be involved.
Thank you.
We're very welcome. Okay, anyone else have anything else to share or that you want to announce before we close for the day?
Thank you for keeping it short.
You are very welcome. Everyone's time is so precious. If the meeting is
Absolutely.
accomplished what it needs to accomplish, let's take that 10 minutes and run with it. I would love to,
Excellent.
have a restroom break and a drink. I've been back-to-back meetings all day too. So I'm going to give you that 10 minutes. That's my gift to you for the new year.
Great. Thank you.
Can't do it every day, but today here's 10 minutes. Thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate your time. And as always, if you need anything at all, don't hesitate to reach out to SJCA, to me, just shoot me a line and let me know, and I'll do what I can to help.
Thanks,
Awesome.
Julie.
Thank
Julie.
you. And
Thank
thank
you,
you,
guys.
Katie, for
Thank you, Katie.
coming and telling us about Give a Toss. We appreciate that.
We do appreciate it. Bye, everybody.
Bye,
Bye,
guys.
everybody. Take care.
Bye-bye.